He had some pesticide sprayed wood, bro. It had the meat tasting like cologne.
What kind of cologne did it taste like?
Cool water. Did you say one of them sent you a close-up picture of a pregnancy test, but you couldn't see the whole stick?
And then with finger and editor, he wrote COVID.
Oh, you got COVID? Come up here. I'll test you.
He is full 100% reverse on his drone, and kids full sprint running after it.
Dang old little sign says free haircuts.
I'm scared money don't make money.
All right, here we go, boys. Phones off or on silent, face down, so nobody can read your messages. Another checkers or wreckers coming in. D is bringing the belt back.
3-time champ.
3-time. Are you the first 3-time champ, you think?
First one, yeah.
Because I think it's only like our 5th episode, maybe.
Quinton over there shaking his head like a
Have you gone 3 times?
I'm like 6-time champ.
Quinton.
Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
We haven't even had 9 episodes, so how can Dustin be 3 and you be 6?
I've just been winning a lot.
Y'all don't be trying no nonsense like trying to take this thing away from me today or whatever.
We're just going to keep our eye on it, see how everything plays out.
All right.
But I'll tell you who just rolling in hot might be the one trying to take the belt. Mr. Luke Moreau.
Happy to be back.
Why you got the shades in? You trying to hide from COVID or what?
Yeah, trying to block out the COVID haters.
Hey, did Madison give you a black eye?
He said he woke up with his dog's butt in his face and ended up with 2 pink eyes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Madison and I broke up, haven't cleaned the sheets in a while, you know.
So just been rubbing your face in
just
her old body sweat and ended up with pink eye?
Yeah.
That's a bold move, I'm going to be honest with you. Sunshades inside, you got to be real cool for the sun to shine on you all the time.
Yeah, blocking out the haters.
Well, we're not hating on you, but you are bringing the heat today because you did walk in with COVID, didn't you?
Nope, but I did have it last week.
Yeah, but last week was only like 4 days ago.
Yeah, it is Monday.
3 days ago.
So 3 days ago you had COVID.
Did COVID make you retarded also?
Look, I had to get back to work. You can't sleep all day.
Yeah. Why specifically do you have shades on?
No specific reason.
Well, let's start by pulling your mic closer to your mouth so we can hear the reasons. Did you get some new Ray-Bans or something? Get it close to your mouth.
No, I've had these for a little bit.
You have?
Yeah.
Fist distance, like like Quinton told you. Fist distance from your mouth. Or if you got a Quinton beard, just beard distance.
Yeah.
If you
How come you're just now wearing them in front of everybody and wearing them all the time?
You just didn't notice. You don't pay
I think he's been crying. He's been on the phone with Madison outside in the car. D told me about why you were back at work so early. You got COVID and you were like, I'm positive and I got to take some days off. Maybe 2 weeks is what they're telling me. He's like, all right, cool, man. We'll just have a doc pay. He's like, well, actually, I'll be there Monday. I'll be there Monday. Are we off for MLK Day? Because I want to work that day.
all of a sudden, people said, man, I think we're COVID positive until we said, hey, there's no government assistance for your pay anymore. And they're like, you know what? I'm feeling better today. I'm not positive anymore. I took another test and it's negative. And I literally went and looked on Google and you could see where they took a Google image, negative COVID test, and sent me that. I'm like, dude, it's the 3rd picture from the left. Google images.
You couldn't have gone a little deeper.
Didn't you say one of them sent you
Maybe go to page 2.
Yeah.
Didn't you say one of them sent you a close-up picture of a pregnancy test, but you couldn't see the whole stick?
And then with finger and editor, he wrote COVID on the bottom. So
I wondered if people been doing that, been sharing around their positive pictures, like hey bro, I'm trying to get out of work. Send me that picture that you took of your positive one 2 months ago. And they're just people sharing around the same pictures.
dude, I guarantee you that's a thing. Yeah. Now that you say that, I didn't even think about that. I guarantee you that's a thing.
I thought that about Luke.
Because he sent a home COVID test.
Ours have to be, you have to go to the hospital.
You know what? I'm fixing to change our policy.
You told me that. You told me they got to have a doctor's note. So I was like, hey, you got to go to the doctor. And we called them.
That's what we were doing until there was so much speculation about the quality of a in-home versus regular one. And so Luke, now that I'm starting to think about this, dude, I'm starting to put together. Luke was like, man, is it okay? Because the lines are so long. If I just take an in-home test, I was like, you know what? It's been kind of dicey as far as if the hospital ones are good or not. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. Take an in-home test. They can't lie to you on that. And he took a picture of one sitting on a table.
With my signature on it and the date.
Did you see that on there?
No, I didn't.
We can look back at it.
I saw your email signature on the email.
Yeah.
I've got the picture. I'll pull it up right now.
Luke sent me a picture of your test, the newspaper, and your face in the same photo.
I did see Luke just turn his head to the right and cough on your shoulder.
Yeah,
Literally
definitely
coughed on
coughed
your shoulder.
you.
Cough
Yeah,
directly towards Quinton.
That ain't happening. Even if I get it, it ain't gonna kill me.
Well, let's be honest though, Quinton, you've had it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it at least 1 time. Dustin has the highest immunity in
0
the history
times.
of the world. Never even had diarrhea 1 time in his life.
What?
No, he's had it 1 time, right?
Yeah, but that was medically induced.
Literally the only time I said, dude, have you ever had food poisoning? He said, probably. I said, so you had diarrhea when you had food poisoning? He said, nope, never had that.
No, never.
Did you throw up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just not diarrhea.
So
Got
what
iron
was
guts?
what was your first diarrhea experience like? If you'd never had it in your life and then it was medically induced, how was it?
You know, like when you get up in the middle of the night and you go to the bathroom and you just like pee regular out your wiener.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing that except sitting down on the toilet. It literally feels like warm bath water just falling out of your butt.
Bro, this is,
So you went to the extreme of
Yeah.
the diarrhea experience. Gosh. So
were you kind of scared when it happened?
No, it came and went. I've heard like a lot of people like where they get in a bind and get dehydrated because they're just like over and over again. I think it was like a few hours and done. And I probably won't ever have it again for the rest of my life.
it makes no sense. So as far as immunity goes, or immune system, D's safe, Quinton's safe,
Yeah.
or has to be either you're getting everyone and you're building up a tremendous immune
it
system.
definitely was the 3 different strains because they told me something about the way my antibodies were when I got tested the second time. And then this 3rd strain, I didn't lose sense of taste or smell. So it had to have been the Omicron or whatever. But it's always after I do a go out 2 nights in a row drinking.
Seems weird. Seems weird.
You know, no water.
Why 2 nights in a row in a smoky bar talking in each other's mouth holes
Yeah.
would give you COVID?
Yeah, you're at your weakest, but it still couldn't kill me, kicking me on while I was down. You know what I'm saying?
You was at the club the next night.
Oh,
huh?
definitely.
Yeah, I was
didn't-
super spreading. Then I went to church on Sunday.
Oh, man.
So what did you lose with yours, Luke? How did yours turn out?
Yeah, I lost all taste and smell on Wednesday or Thursday.
Bro,
And
You're super weak. That's the first variant. That's been around for 2 years. All right, go ahead.
yeah, it was, I tried eating like pickles and literally licked coffee and
Yeah.
can't taste a thing.
So I went through the same process. Josh, did you do that too, where I would try stuff that I knew had a really extreme taste, either one way, bitter or sweet or salty or whatever, just to see if like, man, am I sure I got COVID? Let me keep trying this. I was drinking pickle juice. I was drinking jalapeno juice. I was taking straight mustard, Worcestershire sauce. Just
Did you
to
pronounce
test.
that right?
I don't.
Yeah,
Bro,
no,
so
that's
hold
right.
on. You could if you got it again, you could be the first person to do the 1 chip challenge without making a face.
Dude, I didn't think about that. I don't remember. Josh, do you remember when we had it? Could you taste hot stuff still? Did it burn your tongue?
I didn't have anything hot.
I've tested
That's
this.
my new
It
test for my
doesn't-
employees. I'm
you
like,
can still,
come up to work. I got the chip. We're gonna see if you're lying.
Oh, you got COVID? Come up here. I'll test you.
This is the
my
new
God.
company-wide COVID test policy.
But you can still feel heat, but like you don't taste anything. It's just you feel like the tingle on your, like the pain on your tongue or whatever.
Oh, so it still hurts.
Yeah.
It does. So what else did you try to stick your tongue in if you tried?
I mean, I ate jalapenos.
Pickle juice.
I did pickle juice. I tried jalapenos. I literally put coffee on my tongue.
What? I've never even thought about this.
I did. I went through all this.
trying to
Every
think.
morning. Every morning I,
I
would
can't
try
think of
again.
anything else.
I would try again. And everything tasted like cardboard.
Everything tastes exactly the same.
A little bit like iron and cardboard.
Yeah, coffee has no taste. Tastes like hot water.
What on earth?
All the times you had it, you never lost your
Nuh-uh.
taste or smell?
Nope. And then I was for sure immune to it because he was in the truck with me when he got it. We were eating
man.
pizza, and he was like, "I can't taste this pizza," and he dipped the whole piece in ranch. And like, just like a kid with ketchup, just sucked just the ranch off the pizza.
Nothing.
What you dip it
Nothing.
for? And he goes, "Bro, I'm sorry, I got COVID." I said, "I'll be all right. I probably won't get it," and I didn't.
That's right.
We hung out the whole time he was quarantined.
That's a ride or die homeboy there. He said, you know what? I don't care if you got COVID. I've already had it. I know how bad it is. Psh, let's take the days and go have some fun. My experience, I don't know if I even told you this, Luke, but whenever I got it, so me and Quinton were going out running around one night. We went by Pizza Hut right there, and we were going to get something to go. So we literally just showed up because we were going to get Whataburger. We were thinking about Waffle House, and they were in Pizza Hut, and they were all within the same parking lot. So we pulled up, and we were like, hey, man, called in, do you have anything that somebody passed on, like didn't come pick up? And he was like, man, I sure freaking do. I've got a large pizza, and I've got some wings that were like some weird flavor.
They were nasty.
Teriyaki something. I don't remember what it was. So we're like, cool, that's perfect. We'll take that. And so got it out there, and we started eating that just sitting in the truck. So I took a couple of bites, and then I tried the wings. But whenever I opened the wing box, like it smelled real weird to me. It smelled like real irony, like what blood smells like whenever it dries. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, man, these wings. So I took a couple of bites, but they were a weird flavor already. So I told Quentin, I was like, man, do these things taste weird to you? And he was like, meh, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, but not that bad.
They weren't good. They were borderline nasty taste.
Yeah. And so I took one more bite, and it tasted even different to me. And I was like, what on earth? So I was like, I don't like these wings. I'm not going to eat those. So I sat there for a minute, like washed my palate off, took a bite of pizza, literally instantly couldn't freaking taste nothing. And immediately when I took that bite of pizza, which was like my third piece in, and I could tell I didn't taste nothing, I told Quentin, I said, dude, I'm so sorry. I've got COVID 100% right now. I just got it while we're sitting in this truck.
He wasn't talking, though, and telling me what was going through his head. He just kind of froze for a second. I was like, what's he doing? He was like looking at the pizza, and there was just ranch going off of it. What's he doing?
And so when I told him, his first statement was, you going to eat the rest of those wings? I said, okay, here we go.
Then we went to the hospital and did the drive-through test. Didn't we right then? Yeah.
Yeah, we sure
we did. Went over to Bossier.
We ran over there and got tested. Sure enough, I had it. So went into it. But I didn't think it was bad. I just lost taste and smell. I didn't even feel bad.
You never got fever or nothing because we went hog hunting that night.
Yes. I didn't get anything. So if you're just getting your mind prepared for it, there's not going to be much to it. It'll be pretty easy.
I ain't too worried about it.
You're not going to get it. There's no way. If you haven't had it by now.
Yeah. I was around Josh. Whenever Josh got it, I was around him like the whole day before he woke up with like fever and stuff, and nothing.
Y'all are the only two people I know personally that got vaccinated that haven't gotten it.
No, Josh did get it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But you haven't gotten it at all. Even prior to getting vaccinated, you were around it a lot, though, right?
I mean, not a
you
lot, but yeah.
Okay.
For sure was exposed to it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, D got a good immune system. And, bro, you be drinking a beer, too, after work. I'm trying to figure out it ain't the alcohol me then. I don't know what's going on.
Luke, have you nailed down where you caught it from? Where you ended up with it?
I have no idea.
If you had to speculate.
I think Madison was kissing a bunch
Yeah,
of other
what's
dudes and kissed him.
Can we not say her? Can we just call her what's her face?
All right, yeah. I don't know. Are y'all on good terms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
So wait, how long did you lose your taste, DJ?
I think like 3 weeks. It was for a pretty good while. I couldn't taste anything.
bro,
And then
that
everything
sucks.
started tasting
So
like...
one of the things that threw me off was I'm like craving foods right now.
Yes.
And then I'll eat them, and the craving doesn't go away.
That's exactly what happened to me.
It's so aggravating.
Yeah, we ate steak one night because I was just craving steak, dude, and it wasn't good enough for me to enjoy it. And I still, after eating the whole meal, craved steak.
Yeah. The good thing is, though, meal preps,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Tastes great.
Doesn't matter how terrible Hope's cooking is.
Hers was always good. I always
good.
liked all of them.
Very good.
Especially the meatballs.
That would be the worst part to me is not being able to taste or smell, because like that's the whole enjoyment out of eating or drinking something is like the flavor.
Yep.
So then I wouldn't even look forward to it at that point.
That's wild.
That was the tough part for sure.
What a
I
letdown.
bet I know something you can taste. If you take your meat and you smoke it with white oak.
From one of your buddies that says this is good
Bro, this
meat
dude-
smoking oak. Oh man,
He had some pesticide sprayed wood that he was like, I got this for smoking wood. Someone gave me this for smoking. Bro, it had the meat tasting like cologne. Literally tastes like cologne.
dude, this is 100% true. Anthony gave me some what he said was white oak, but it had like fungus growing on it. Whenever he built me that grill that's got like battle axe on it and stuff, like cool grill. Well, he gave me some what he told me was white oak with it, and was like, here man, cook with this. So one night, me, Josh, and Quinton got together cooking out, and like we made some chicken and sausage and steaks, and dude, it literally tasted like we was eating acid, some sort of pesticide with the steaks.
Had to throw it all out.
I know I went ahead and ate it, but
What was
I didn't waste none of it.
what was weird is your steak didn't taste like it. Mine did. And then I got you to try that piece of like Mexican marinated like flank steak or whatever it was, and you were like, "Oh yeah, it does taste terrible." And bro, it was like smoky cologne. Like
It was. And what made it even better is I went ahead and wet the wood down and soaked it in the sink before we put it in the grill so that it would really smoke out there, and it was smoking out pretty good. And we put Quinton's steak on the lowest setting right above. He was like, "Oh man, I love good smoked meat over some white oak." Just right over the top of that.
And what's
wood.
crazy is my steak was really juicy because I did like butter and garlic on it. He goes, "Take your steak and mop mine with it since you got too much on there excess." So then I mopped both sides of his steak with mine, and his still didn't taste like it.
Mine was amazing until I tried his, and it was terrible.
That's weird how it was just yours, though.
They don't make no sense.
Yeah, maybe it was a steak. Are you the only one that could taste it, or you could taste it too?
I could taste it on his. I could not taste it on mine. Josh, could you taste it when we were immediately?
Yeah, I was battling through it though. I was like, oh, it's still good.
We're still having fun with our friends. And
I will say for the record, somebody got super pissed. Like y'all just went to blows on that deal.
What happened?
You got so bad about it.
What happened?
Why? Because wasted his meat.
Oh, because D was like, "I'm telling you, this wood is good. It's smoking wood." And I'm like, "Man, that looks like white oak." Or and we used it, and we shouldn't have. So like
it definitely was wrapped in like
$38
poison
in meat.
ivy.
It literally was stacked on the side of the house, and he tells me he gets a bug guy to do his house and his other places. And I started thinking, I was like, "Bro, the freaking termite man's been spraying that."
That's exactly what it was. I don't know this for sure, but I guarantee you that's right.
What does that moron think you got that stacked up there for?
Obviously,
Firewood?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what he thought.
Firewood.
We're figuring this out as we go, boys.
Bro, they were grill cut length pieces of wood.
We're figuring this out. That's what happened. Is
He
he
got a
thought that was
fireplace.
firewood for the fireplace?
Probably why my immune system dropped and I got COVID.
The cologne meat.
Bro, it definitely
What kind of cologne did it taste like?
cool water.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
or
my God.
or a green bottle your grandpa used to put on the aftershave. Like it,
Brute. You talking about brute?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call that meat. That was brute smoked.
So y'all ate pesticide, poison ivy covered wood.
Unknowingly, and we put so much work in like marinating the steaks and stuff. So we were all trying to enjoy it together, and like, man, this is good. And then everybody, you can see him start asking, like, man, is your steak good too?
Dustin's over there sawing away at his, not saying a word. He's like, "Mine tastes normal."
I didn't understand what they were saying because mine literally had no taste. Like it tastes like a regular grilled steak.
Was this during your no taste COVID times?
It was right at the end of it, I think. Really right. Because the only person that would hang out with me and Josh, because me and Josh quarantined at the same time, he started one day after me, right?
No. Josh got kicked out of his house.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Y'all made
he did.
He told us y'all made a pact. Tell everybody what the pact was.
Whoever got Rona was not allowed to stay at their own house.
Had to immediately move out.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
questions asked.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Josh because he don't live here and he don't have no family or nowhere to go to.
But y'all didn't ask where he's going. He said he pulled up and all of his stuff was out on the sidewalk.
Dude, he walked up and knocked on my door with a stick with like a red bandana tie. Like, man.
Oh my
I
God,
got kicked out. Like the prodigal son was coming home.
man! If we knew then what we know now,
Yeah.
I've been like, bro,
cares?
don't even sweat it. Who cares about it? In fact, go and give it to me, and we can all get it out the way at the same time.
Just don't go to your grandparents' house. It will kill old
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Don't go
for
to your
sure. Don't do that.
Except my
honestly-
grandpa.
Like, did he get in?
No, bro. He went out every weekend dancing in the casinos and was at the house with us.
Dude, those old guys are so tough. Were you relieved when you got it?
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of glad that I got it once at least and can have a little bit of immunity to it.
Yeah. Now you can start licking door handles and
Yeah,
stuff. Don't
go
even-
out as much as I want, not care.
Do you think that?
Yes.
Do you think you're the one responsible for letting it run rampant at the shop?
I'd like to say no, but it's possible.
Wasn't he the first one?
Yeah, the way you've been coughing on Quinton for the last 30 minutes.
I know my nose is starting to run ever since he got here.
Dude, he definitely has no respect with what he's working with. Just coughing on people.
I'm trying to turn to my left if I cough.
Well, I mean, look at them glasses on his face. He don't have no respect for himself. How do you expect him to respect anybody else?
Why would he respect anybody? One thing I did.
The reason I'm wearing these is for people like you, DH, my haters.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, just blocking them out. There's one thing I did realize during time of quarantine, Luke. I don't know if it was the same as you, but since Quinton is the only person that would hang out with me, we picked up a few new hobbies whenever we were getting over that sickness and started spending money on some toys that we really had no business buying. There's one thing that you got to know about our group is if we find something that we think is cool, we don't do a ton of research before jumping completely into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
No, you go first to all the fun stuff. You look at YouTube, and that's going to be the highest viewed videos or everybody having fun with it. So you're like, look at that. That looks cool.
So it's got to be fun for me, too. So it started off as a really small investment, but turned into one of our largest investments that we made just post-COVID was a drone operation. So I got a hand-me-down drone from S3 Media. Josh just kind of throwaway that he wasn't using anymore. Me and Quinton went out flying at one time and immediately decided we were going to open a drone business doing reconnaissance. What other kind of stuff do we have up our sleeves for that?
Oh, for the thermal one that we're thinking about, they got industrial inspection.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But you got to get your pilot's license.
Private investigation. We're going to follow people's old lady, which is one thing that I think people thought we was doing at one time.
At the strip club. So, yeah, we're just going to put some feelers out there, just some Facebook Marketplace pages, Craigslist if it's still up, and then, yeah.
Back page. We might hit back page,
Yeah,
too.
if you're-
Is that still a thing, Luke? Back page?
Yeah,
I
back
have
page.
no idea.
We'll, if they think they're going to the casino a bunch, we got tabs on that. If it's a strip club, wherever. Aerial reconnaissance can reveal a lot of things. You can get in people's backyards without climbing fences.
Yeah, you can.
They don't even. We got the quiet blades on ours. They don't even know we're there.
We covered all the lights on it, so you can't see them flying.
Yeah, I put electrical tape on mine. I'll tell you about that at the fair. I didn't.
Oh man! So our first operation. Now I got a hand-me-down drone that we thought, oh man, this is super cool. Fly around, we can look at all kind of stuff, and look at our houses. So the first day, Quinton went and bought himself a new drone just so he had one. It's never fun by yourself. You know what I mean? Rowing a drone is like a street bike or jet ski. You have to ride or do that with somebody, and it's way more fun. So Quinton went and got one. We got everything charged up. We started playing with it. So in my neighborhood, there's a big park just right down the road, not even like 200 yards from my house.
Yep.
Where they have like a little mini water park, the slides, the swings, all that stuff. So kids come, a running track, so kids come out there. So mine and Quinton's idea was sit at my house in the backyard, take the drones straight up in the air, wide open immediately, so nobody knows where they're coming from. Get them too high to where people can't be like, oh, I know what house that came from. And then fly over and just fly around there while everybody's hanging out in the park or whatever. And so I'm doing that from like a super high distance, like just kind of looking at the park, checking everything out. There's some creeks and stuff, so you can see some animals every once in a while. And so I look over and Quinton's like, oh man, check mine out. This dude is 4 foot off the ground within arm's reach of little kids that are just full sprint. He is full 100% reverse on his drone and kids full sprint running after it. One of them clips the edge of the concrete while he's running, trips and falls on the concrete.
Bro, these kids were BAs, bro. They were throwing stuff at it, trying to take it down, and the parents were laughing, like we were worried about them getting heated or whatever.
Yeah.
And I haven't read any of the rules on the drone because there's apparently like a whole handbook guide. People tell me you're not supposed to fly it over people, but I haven't read that, and I'm not going to read the rules.
I never heard that.
That way
I
I'm
never
not
heard that
lying
ever.
to them.
You have heard that?
No, I never have.
Exactly. That's what I said.
That's why I think they're liars. But so I'm not going to read the rules. But yeah, these little BA kids were chasing all over the place. So I was flying as low as I could, and then I would get down low and hover. And they never got out of breath. I had them running football field lengths. I'd back way up in the field where they could see it, and they would run way across. And they would all stand in a line because it's pretty loud and intimidating. Like, you definitely don't want to get hit by the blades. But they kept jumping at it and acting like they were going to throw stuff at it and hit it. And then I'd ram the drone towards them and they would run.
Like, what were they going to try to do? They were going to reach out and try to grab it?
They were going to try to grab it or hit it with a stick. Like, a couple of them had sticks and some of them had some miscellaneous stuff.
They were just throwing random stuff at it at first, but then you see them like kind of reaching out real slow. and then they would try to catch Quinton off guard and like reach out and then run real fast and try to grab it, but Quinton would just rip backwards so they couldn't get to it.
Yeah, and then when I'd have the camera facing this way, they figured out they could get around behind it, and I would just do 360s and just
Keep
let
an
them
eye
know,
on
like
them.
I'll run into any one of their heads.
Next time you take it over there, should hang a dangle little sign that says free haircuts.
No, we're
Oh, just wait. That was not
okay.
the end of the fight. What'd you
Oh,
start?
okay.
Have y'all ever seen what those blades do to people when they hit them?
No, but I want to though.
I mean,
No.
I have seen 2 people go to the hospital after those things.
them little kids' soft heads. I bet it would tear the scalp them.
So my brother, like, you know how those drones have the GPS thing, you grab them, they go back to where they're supposed to.
Yes.
My brother was trying to show one of his friends that one time, grabbed it and like pulled it too far, and it like corrected and went into his head. And,
Oh,
sliced
crap.
his head open, dude. He had to get staples in his head and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, it was a big enough cut to get staples.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then a buddy of mine, one of the props wasn't working, and it cut his palm
Oh yeah.
and went like all the way to the bone.
Oh my god.
See, that's why we were had the strategy of not letting anybody know where we were flying
Yeah,
from,
yeah.
so that if that happened and we gapped one of these little kids open trying to grab our drone, we would just fly to the house. We would go 400 foot in the air so nobody could see, make a loop around the neighborhood, and then land in the back.
yeah, yeah.
I could see why it would tear somebody up because those things have they're Dennis Anderson built. Because when something happens, it goes full power to try to lift up and level back out. Like literally, when you hit stuff, it just goes full tilt, full horsepower.
D, I like where your head's at because after we flew around for maybe 5 or 10 minutes chasing those little kids and making them run after the drones, our immediate thought was we should tape something to it that they would want to get and make them really run for it. And so we started raiding my cabinets, found a bag of
Skittles or
it was
something.
Sour Patch
Sour
Kids
Patch Kids.
because
Yeah.
everybody loves some
I'd
sour.
have ran after him.
You gash their head. First they're sour, then they're sweet.
So we put some zip ties to the drone, hung it down, and then taped the Sour Patch Kids to the zip tie. And so we flew it around my yard a few times at practice, and we would drop down and then jerk it up real fast, and it would fall off. So we're like, okay, cool. We'll make them run for it, and then we'll just drop it and let them have it.
Drop it on their heads.
Drop it and let them. Yeah.
Full tilt, just square them up in the.
Just one Sour Patch Kid at a time.
No, we were sending whole bags over there.
Oh dang.
Yeah, we
Halloween size,
Yeah.
Okay,
the baby
yeah,
bags.
Yeah, and so we flew that over there and tried to dangle it in front of the kids, and for sure they were into that. They were like a little whole pack of kids trying to chase that drone. We let them run for a while. Well, then we started trying to bounce the candy off of there.
I was basically the drone was Kyle Rittenhouse, and they were the mob.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Quinton was just running.
Bro, that thing will rip too. It'd do 40 miles an hour. I could make a lap around the playground and catch them.
They didn't have
Oh,
a chance.
my God.
So we could never get the candy to fall off of there. So we started flying it home. And on the way home, they decided they wanted to let go then and fell on top of somebody's house right down the road from my, yeah. So now
don't think I heard that.
there's a bag of Sour Patch Kids that's been on top of this house for like a month now. Still
Bro, they're gonna think somebody flushed one off an airplane toilet. That's how it got on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
roof.
yeah. How'd them get up there?
Still sitting up there. But the very next weekend, we were like, oh, this is a solid strategy. Like, we could use these drones to really bait some people and stuff. So this is what we decided to do. We went downtown, Shreveport, went to the casinos, went on top of the parking garage, the one that's right across from the El Dorado. Decided we were going to pick the drones up and do some flying around there. And so do you remember what happened first when we first got up there? This is crazy. This is crazy.
We pulled to the top floor and parked, and we seen this SUV with the back hatch open. It was like a crossover, so like that small SUV. And I was like, man, there's a girl in there. They're laid down. They got like a pallet made, and so we're cracking up. We couldn't park fast enough and get these things freaking flying. I was
He's
like,
not setting this up good enough. Let me tell you, when he said there was a pallet, the back gate of this SUV was open. There was a pair of legs hanging out, and there was blankets, probably 10 blankets, like flowing out up the side of the inside of this SUV because you kind of catch a glimpse when you were coming around. So we knew 2 girls in there and a bunch of blankets in there. And then, like Quinton
Yeah,
said,
then we got parked, and I was like, I'm gonna hurry up, let's park. I'm gonna fly over there and fly down under the hatch and get as close as I can while they're laid on their backs.
Keep in mind, we're 20 yards from this car. We set the drone right there on the ground behind Quinton's truck and fly it over there. No, we don't. Quinton does.
Yeah, it's loud enough too, for sure. Like I set mine, I just was in the truck. I set mine on the roof or on the hood or something, and then took off. And it's loud enough to hear from the distance we were, right where we're coming from. We're the only people that pulled up there. So like I fly over there, and from the top side front windshield, I can see them back down in there, and they don't think we're doing anything. Well, then I hover over and drop down below the hatch, and I'm looking right at them, and they're like getting super pissed off. And yeah, it was definitely two lesbians scissoring or something. Like it was two lesbians.
Yes, it for sure was.
And they were freaking hot too. Like they were
Really?
good. Yes, they were good looking.
From drone camera on a cell phone, it looked like they was
Bro, I got
good-looking.
I got 8K camera.
It looked like they was good looking, ain't gonna lie.
That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
we might need to review that footage. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
then
were y'all close enough for them to hear like home point
they
has
could
been
have
updated?
they could have thrown stuff at us.
They
We
turned
weren't
around
really.
and they looked
When-
at us.
when-
Whenever they got out of the back of the car, the one was looking across the parking lot at us while Quinton's doing this, flying the drone. And I'm just like, I don't know.
So
It's
that-
not us.
It ain't like when y'all were doing it at the park when y'all were all the way at your house. Y'all are up on the top floor with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 15 parking spots down.
Yeah, we can see him sitting right there. Literally see him sitting right there.
And yeah, so we did that, and then they got super pissed off and closed up camp. And then while they were closing up camp the whole time, to really piss them off, I was literally almost touching the front windshield, just looking through, because they tried to close up like I couldn't see them.
Yeah,
but they were in a fishbowl, so the whole front windshield, it's clear as day. I'm just hovering. Then the girl gets in and cranks it up, and I move out of the way so she can back up, and I'm going reverse, and she's coming towards us to go down the exit ramp, and then she gasses it and tries to hit my drone, but
Not happening.
not happening.
So he literally went 5-story parking garage. He went floor to floor with them because it was making circles to the exit. He would go floor to floor with them.
You did.
And he would park probably 4 foot off the ground, and they would come, and you could literally see the front of their car pick up and accelerate to try to slam into the drone. And Quinton would just zoop, right out of the way every time, down to the next floor.
You had them so pissed they were literally ready to try to crash their vehicle into
for
it.
Sure. For sure, they were pissed.
Trying to run it over.
Did they? I guess they didn't put two and two together. Like that was y'all over there.
I'm sure they just didn't want no confrontation like that. They were willing to run it over or hit it, but not come over there and talk to us.
Man, y'all killed the mood for them.
Bruh. It was this. We couldn't figure out what was going on. We think we know what was going on,
Yeah.
but I was
Scissor
like,
fest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
wanting to talk to him and interview him. But they didn't come over and talk.
But not only did we kill the mood for them, but following that, we decided we were flying distance from the strip club in downtown.
Okay, didn't even have to leave.
Didn't even have to go nowhere from there. So we got the bright idea. You know what would be funny? Let's tape a dollar bill to the drone, fly it over there, give it to people walking in the strip club, let them take it away. Because they're going in there anyway. So we're just like, man, let's just help the cause. Let's give it a dollar bill.
We did not have proper rigging supplies. We started tearing my truck apart, figuring out what we could attach the dollar bill to the drone for. And keep in mind, we have rigging experience on these. We know how you got to secure stuff to them, and you don't. They don't mess up the stabilization. So you can't do anything fixed. It's got to be something that can dangle and swing.
Man, and if you think about it, when you're at a strip club, it ain't just a dollar bill. That's a lap
It could
dance.
potentially be a lap dance.
That's a front row dollar bill putting in their G string.
Could potentially be
That's
a shot at the bar.
Yeah, shot at the bar, tips.
Yeah.
Trade value is way higher than face
Yeah.
value. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
That's
So-
a horse trading kind of place. You know what I'm saying?
Man, where was y'all whenever I was going to the strip club?
See,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
But this is the thing.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like if a drone flew up with a dollar bill, I'd be like, heck yeah, free dollar bill, give it to me.
Bro, I would have tried to Air Jordan the drone and trade that thing in for some money inside.
I don't know, lap dance. You got some money? Oh, I got this drone.
I got a DJI 2ARS or whatever that thing is.
Are you willing to? I don't have the controller, but would you take this on
Do
trade?
y'all price match?
That's when we realized that people thought that we were there maybe as private investigators doing reconnaissance. Because we had a dollar bill hanging probably 3 foot below the drone, so you could obviously tell that it was a dollar bill. And Quinton was flying up to the front door of the strip club.
Security was looking at us and pointing and laughing.
Oh, he was 10,
telling people.
10 foot away from the security guard, and he would literally follow people from their car to the strip club door, and they would pull their coats up around their face, put their head down, pull their hats down, like their wife was flying the drone, trying to watch them walk.
I'm not kidding you, bro. Like we would see them pull up in the car and they would spot it, be like, "Hey, that car right there!" And I would fly over them. The drones have a light on the bottom you can turn it on and off. So the dollar bill, the funniest part is we had it on a lanyard, a neck lanyard for keys, and the dollar bill because of the rotor wash. What, dude, it was just spinning as fast as you could. Remember that stupid game they'd come to school with, Kids Casino? That's what I'm going to call it. They were trying to rope us already in. The money machine that blew the money.
Oh,
you
yeah.
had to grab
You
it.
gotta grab.
Bro, it was spinning 1,000 miles an hour. So I would drop down in front of their windshield before they even got out. Basically a stripper ballerina dollar.
Yeah.
And then they would get out and their mood would change immediately. Like, bro, you already know they're licked up with their buddy going to strip club. They got the music bumping and all of a sudden they would turn the music down and you just see eyeballs. It was like the police copter up there. They were like looking out of the windshield trying to figure out what's going on.
And they would walk straight head down, looking at their feet, walking as fast as they could, would not look up at that drone. And he would get face height with them, and the dollar bill was in 2 foot of
I would
them,
bounce it, like let them know, like
Not
grab
having
it.
Come to think of it, that's about the time that Luke and them went south. And I feel like Luke looks very similar. We're going to have to run the footage back. Luke looks very similar to the ones of the guys walking in the strip club.
No, he's like
May have been there.
You know what's crazy about that whole deal is if somebody was like feeling guilty, like, oh man, I probably shouldn't be here, or like I don't want people knowing I'm here.
And then the drone.
Yeah.
And then the drone sees them, like, bro, if it was me and like I wasn't supposed to be there, or I was hanging out with somebody I should have been hanging out with, or whatever, like if I saw the drone, I would just be like, oh, I'm gonna just put this in reverse.
Yeah.
But obviously they didn't care enough to not still go in.
because you don't know if it's a PI or the news.
That's a good point. They was not keeping them from going to strip
No.
club. They just didn't want them to see who was going in.
No, they were still gonna see them tits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They were like,
literally.
I'm not going to show up on the news, but I'm going to see those titties.
Still not missing.
they 100% had to have thought the news was running the story or a PI was following them. Like a couple of them was acting like sketchy. They was some cheaters for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like because
They
people
were.
coming out the club too was coming out with groups of buddies and they was hyped and jacked up talking about what just happened. And then like immediately saw the drone, they're like looking at each other like, what on earth? What's going on? Who's watching us? Ignore the dollar. Except one party.
Except
Somebody
for one.
did.
Oh man, you could tell he was an alpha because he did it with complete confidence. When he saw it from 100 yards away.
He ran across the road. His buddies pointed at it, then he ran across the road.
Came over there, walked up, biggest smile on his face ever. Grabbed that dollar bill, gave the drone a thumbs
yeah.
up. Just Conor McGregor'd all the way to the strip club. Just arms swinging.
my dude right there.
Slipped that in his jacket pocket and getting it.
That's my dude right there.
He was like, I wasn't going to go to the strip club, but now
This is a sign.
It's my lucky night.
I'm going.
It's gonna
walked
be a
in with
good night.
$1.
Bro, we tried for like 30 minutes. People walking in the casino wouldn't take it. Walking out of the casino wouldn't take it.
A homeless dude would not take it.
Yeah, a homeless dude wouldn't take it. And then we lost our minds when that dude finally grabbed it. We were more excited than him.
So excited that the the drone didn't turn out well.
Yeah, then on the way back, that dollar bill was, I guess, enough drag downwards to keep the lanyard tight. I was flying back, and when I came to a stop, it swung the lanyard up into the propellers of one of
man.
them. So the drone thought something touched it, so it went full tilt and tried to level out. But you only got 3, so, bro, it went into a spiral and slapped the ground upside down and went full tilt. That it was just slinging rocks, hitting you in the legs through your jeans and hurt and sparking, and it just went full tilt till it drained the battery.
Oh my God! Just
Couldn't shut it down.
And y'all were far enough you couldn't go. and do
No,
any,
oh no, we were right here. I wasn't touching that thing. You
Dude,
should have heard
was
it.
spinning wide open.
Wide
Nobody
open.
was
like
fixing
a
to grab
weed.
it.
Sound like a weed eater.
Yes, slinging rocks everywhere.
Brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new drone.
Totaled.
It's a good thing that didn't happen around those kids.
Yeah, that's no lie. We would have just had to call that drone a total loss.
Yeah, don't go get that drone.
But here's the problem. That's not the first time that we crashed the drones.
That was the second time.
That was the second time. The
that-
first time, we ended up with 4 total drones. 4. It started off the process with just me and him having a drone, and turned into a couple of weeks later we had 4 drones, all of them completely totaled. So we decided one night after we had hung out, cooked out or something like that, we wanted to fly the drones around town in the dark. Well, the only good place to go that you could see something cool was the water tower because it's so well lit. And so there's some
Talking about the one right by your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's some shopping centers there that we were flying around, just checking out. And then we flew up to the water tower. And I don't know why it's innate in us that we have to do the most sketchy stuff. Like, why not just fly around it, look at it, and bring it back? But instead, we were like, you know what we should try to do? Land on the very top of the water tower where we could never go get them if something happens.
Never even crossed our mind.
No. I immediately thought, let me just land it, pick it up, and then we'll keep flying. So we both fly up there together, and it's probably a quarter of a mile from where we parked. Both fly up there together. And so we're like, all right, you watch me land, and then I'm going to watch you land. And so he watched me, and I went down, laid mine down, picked it right back up a little bit above his, like, all right, you land, I'm going to watch you now. Well, for some reason, mine started drifting.
Oh, I know what it is, and now we know we would have known sooner. So it was worse that we were further away for this purpose. So the top of the tower's up here. You're down here on the ground, right? Hang on. Freaking mom. She had meatloaf ready. So anyways, the tower's up here. We're here. So our line of sight for radio frequency is good. And I didn't even figure out what happened here because I'm watching on the camera and he's flying. And like, we've flown him a little bit. But it is very easy to get the controls backwards when you're doing something, watching that screen, and or hit the wrong stick instead of going backwards, you go up or whatever. You get those mixed up easy. But you were losing radio signal because when I went to rescue it with the same other drone I bought in Wascom, being close to the water tower, as soon as I crossed the edge of the water tower and got a couple feet in, it would start losing radio signal. So I had to run way down the road, like a half a mile, to barely get it keep controllable. When I'd start getting low and it'd say weak signal, it skewed the input signal it was getting, and it would make the drone like drift around. Like, dude, it was so hard for me to get, because they're easy to fly. Like, if you wanted to pick something up on this table, I could come right in with a little bitty hook and hook it up. But I was sitting there having to control it like this, like there was a bunch of wind and compensate and all this stuff with the trigger. So you were far enough away to where the radio signal was just weak enough. So I'm watching on the camera, and I'm watching him, and the drone's kind of moving around, and they don't move. They're stable. And all of a sudden, dude, this thing goes full freaking tilt past my camera screen. I just see, bam, into this railing on the top.
Slams in the railing, flips over with the blades down. So my drone is on top of the water tower upside down. So Quinton never tried to get to land his, but we were like, all right, no worries. We can recover this thing because we still have a flying drone. We just need to figure out a way to get a grappling hook on
All right.
mounted on Quinton's drone, and we'll just fly up there and pick mine up. So immediately, like, we jump in the truck, like, oh, man. You can see mine flashing on top of the water tower. Oh, man. We run home. We grab a metal coat hanger. We bend it into a 90, straighten it out so that it's about a foot drop below his drone to the hook. We zip tie it hard to his drone so that it's fixed. It's real rigid, and we're like, all right, this definitely will work. So
And let me just back up here too. So after we're done with that, we had already that day done a lift test on our drones, and his drone's the big Phantom 4, mine's the 2 AR Aries or whatever. And I was like, bro, let's see what they'll pick up. He's like, all right. So he goes and gets a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle, and like, you know how much power it takes to pick something up. Toys as a kid, my little cranes and stuff, they won't pick up nothing. So I'm like, this thing ain't gonna pick up nothing. Bro, his rips up a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle. Then we get one of those pieces of white oak, and we start adding logs to see how much weight it would pick up. And bro, it picked up like 5 or 6 pounds and still wasn't using enough power. He could still steer it. Like, these props could speed up and move. And bro, it would like rip around the yard dangling all this stuff. So we were cracking up. We tried mine, and mine would barely pick up the Gatorade bottle, and that was it. So we're like, all right, his has got way more lifting capability. So once his drone got stuck, we're on the way back, and he's like in a frantic. He's like, bro, we got to get this thing down. I'm like, bro, it's fine. Like, we can get it down. You know, you like, I put it this way. When you have your own stuff break, you feel like you can't help yourself. But if somebody called you the same problem, you'd be like, bro, no problem. Here's the steps. We're just going to go through them. It's simple. You're not that way when it's your own stuff. You're in a panic.
Yeah.
And it's late, too. It was already like 10 or 11 o'clock Sunday. And he's like, we got to get this thing down. I'm like, all right, cool. So we fixed it. I was like, hey, man, let's do a lift test while he's like, what? We don't know what that stuff weighs. And I'm like, yeah, but we know your drone's is heavy. This has got to be about this. So we're looking up what 32 ounces weighs. Anyways, long story short, he's like, no, what is that going to do us any good? I said, just to see how the drone's going to act with it. And I, like 5 times, he's like, it'll be fine. Let's just pick it up with this and we'll be good. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we go back over there, and I'm like, this will be easy. Fly right up, stable as can be. It was kind of difficult with the light on to see his. Like, it was real hard to judge where the hook was. We didn't check nothing. We just strapped this thing on, didn't look what the camera could see, so I could barely see it. Hover around for a few minutes, and I get it hooked. And I'm thinking, like, all right, as soon as I get it hooked, I got to get up fast so it doesn't pull the drone around. So when I hooked, it pulls the drone like this because it's a fixed hook, right? And so just like I said, I was like, as soon as I get hooked, I got to come up so I stay hooked. Bro, I went full tilt. But since it's this way, It went full tilt right into the freaking water tower.
Oh my
Just
God.
Immediately. Whoop, bam.
He says he went full tilt up. I was watching his fingers. He hooked my drone and went full tilt forwards. And so it just did a front flip. And in his camera, it's upside down, looking at mine upside down. And so now we got 2 drones on top of this 300-foot water tower, upside down, looking at each other.
Bro, we went through the ringers too. But what couldn't have worked out more perfect no planning is my drone had nothing to pick up. His has fixed landing gear, so we can hook it with something. Thank God we used a fixed hook on mine because it wasn't strong enough to pick yours up anyways. So I've got the hook facing up down. Now we got something to grab mine by. So I was like, it's in the middle of the night. It's supposed to rain like the next day or two.
So
And
this is where drone number 3 comes in.
and then I was like, my brother still has a drone, and he has the Maverick 2, the little bit bigger drone than mine. So we look it up, and it's like, it's got lifting capabilities of X this. Like, people have done these tests on pull meters with their drones. And so my brother, I was like, hey, I need your drone, and I might have to buy it. And he's like, all right, I don't need to use it anyways. Come get it. I was like, all right, charge the batteries. We're on the way home. So we go
That's
pick
a
it
good
up.
brother right there.
Yeah, we go all the way over there, pick it up, get back over here. And this time we did zip ties and a loose coat hanger so it could move around like helicopter rigging. And I flew it up there, hooked up to mine immediately, picked it up, and it had just enough power when it got over the edge, like full tilt, to let it down slow. And
So we got Quinn's down.
Got mine down. I was like, all right. And he's like, bro, I got to leave for the race tomorrow. We knew what rigging we needed, so I came back with 2 buddies, and we got it all rigged up with zip ties and started flying up there. And it's the same drone he has. And so that's when I realized, like, oh, this thing's losing radio signal. And it would go haywire. Like, it would do all kinds of wild stuff. So I fought it for, like, 30 minutes, and my hands were so tight from compensating. Like, I was getting cramped hands trying to get this thing down. And I got hooked up to it and started easing up on it. And it had just enough power to pick it up. And when it did, it started flashing red on the screen like high battery output or something because it was using so much power and so low on the battery. And it just started draining the battery fast. And then once I was like, all right, I got to get off the water tower. Like, if it comes down, it'll come down slow. So I started easing out over the water tower. And when I did, it started to swing the drone. It was trying to stabilize and move. When I tried to control it, it just started going full tilt. Whap, whap, whap. And they got flipping and flopping back so much and coming down that by the time they come down, the flip-flop turned all the way to the pirate ship doing a full nunchuck 360.
Yeah.
It turned into a package of nunchucks. Just
Bro, you
spinning.
could see it like it was powering up, swing, and then when it got upside down, it was yanking it down and just taking the other one and like on a tube behind a bass boat when you get all the way on the outside. Just skint back. And it got timed nunchuck perfect. There's a concrete building, like a service building at the bottom, and it smashed both of them into the sheet metal corner so loud it sounded like a sledgehammer hit the building. And I go over there, all 4 wings blowed off, both cameras in pieces, the landing gear. I mean, they were tore to pieces.
Everything
And this one
destroyed.
is yours and yours?
So this is mine that was on top of the water tower. The one that we bought off of Facebook Marketplace, destroyed. Quinton's that we crashed trying to recover mine. And Quinton's brother, whenever they came down the first day, they were going a little too fast, and they both slammed to the ground. So now we got 4 tore up. We started off with just a fun hobby of flying drones and doing some reconnaissance and private investigation, and now we got 4 tore up drones.
Everything I've ever owned remote control was I'm $2,000 in. That's how much I'm in a drone. that drone, that RC car we bought, that crawler.
Started out with 4 good ones, and then within a matter of 1 or 2 days, 4 bad ones.
4 tore up drones.
Bro, I think the only hobby that we have that really treats us good is our Renegades.
Yeah, that ain't no lie. Knock on wood. Those things have held up okay. But, Luke, I think you can tell people firsthand, based on the taco, that it's expensive hanging out with us, is it not?
It's very expensive. Speaking of your drone a little bit, like
Okay.
I remember I was working on my truck that night when you got the drone, right? I was just finished putting my locker in, trying to get the air compressor in there. And you were flying it around, learning how to fly it. I literally finished working on my truck, went home, took a shower, got comfortable, and I flipped on my phone, click on Instagram, and the first thing I see is you got that thing stuck on top of a water tower.
Yes, this is a true story. That's true. I think in chronological order, I think that was the first thing we did with them is the day after we got them both, We crashed them on top of the water tower.
Yeah,
Bro.
I'm pretty sure.
One full day of owning them, crashed them.
It wasn't even a full day.
It wasn't even a whole day.
It wasn't even a whole night. But yeah, and then but there's a whole lot of money in that Tacoma now, and but it's doing pretty good. A lot of money and time.
Yeah, that spiraled out of control quick.
I seen it ain't moved in a while. Is it broke down or what's wrong with
No,
it?
it's doing fine. I'm finishing the bumper. I just got to make it. I was actually planning on starting this week, but then Corona, so
Well,
That would have been the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, you still could have done it all this week.
That's weird.
like worked on it.
Yeah.
I would have had to been at the shop.
You could have took it home and worked on it. You don't have to work on it
Oh,
at the shop.
I live in an apartment.
Yeah, you can work on it out in front of the apartment.
They got to send you 3 letters for you're kicked out anyways.
You can work on it in a parking spot.
Yes.
We've done a lot worse. I promise you that.
And like Quinn said, the HOA will send you several letters before you really start getting fines.
No, I need some equipment to do some tubing and stuff, so I would have had to been at the shop.
We could have gone up there at night and done it.
Man, I didn't want to touch all the equipment and stuff,
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't want you in there.
but I guess all the shop guys were out anyways.
Yeah. You'd already infected everybody at that point. So.
You've already done all the damage.
Yeah, so what difference did it make?
Maybe I should have come.
Did
up.
everybody off work burn his paid time off too?
Yep, because of him. He doesn't know it yet, but
All your sick time and paid time's gone January.
yeah, we're not even a month in yet, and you ain't got no paid sick time or vacation because you got everybody sick.
Oops.
Had to hand it down.
Oops.
Yeah, as sick as you stay during the year, that ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, speaking of taco, y'all went to Sand Hollow, right? Did some crawling. I seen a short clip of that thing climbing a near vertical wall.
Oh, that was the big job trip for the taco.
Yeah, that thing was following X3s around everywhere.
Were you
It wasn't
nervous?
successful everywhere.
But it did go. It did follow.
It did
him
go a
everywhere.
lot of places.
It did put in some work.
I didn't get to go on that trip. Did it take any body damage?
Maybe a couple tail lights and a rear bumper.
Mainly the tail light. Dude, I think we've got a video of that, right?
That's the funniest thing I had ever seen in my life.
Ever seen.
Dude, it was perfect.
Dude, it literally like, came down on a rock, literally just went bink. And rolled. Not just did the tail light, like the cover. It wasn't the whole tail light, right? Y'all saw the video. It was just the lens of the tail light popped out of the tail light and didn't just fall on the ground. No.
Walks down the rocks.
It slid down the rocks that I went down like a slide right underneath my tire.
I heard
Right
I heard
underneath it.
someone yell on the video, "Your tail light lens!" And then
Luke didn't set it up very well. So he's like easing down this little rock obstacle, right? And he's like sliding. He's got the brakes full lock, and he slides down and drops down a little ledge, and his like a rock smacked his rear bumper like this, like bam. Then all of a sudden, somebody's filming it, and boom, the lens pops off to his taillight. It's like perfect. It pops off, hits the ground right next to his truck, slides all the way down the rocks, and at this point, he starts like creeping forward a little bit. It slides down in front of the rocks, and then makes a turn.
Literally makes a turn.
Makes a turn and goes in front of his tire. And he's creeping forward, and Logan's like,
Logan's videoing.
yeah,
right?
Logan's video, and he's like, no, Luke, don't run it over. And then Luke just keeps going forward, and then just literally crunches into 1,000 pieces. And it happened like that, but it almost looked like it was like slow motion. Dude, it was hilarious.
I don't understand how that taillight made the turn around your tire, ended up under it, and then you stopped whenever Logan was like, stop, and you stopped right on top of it.
I heard and just stopped right on top of the taillight. Yeah, it was unfortunate, but turns out the other one got blasted out of there too later on.
It did. So
yeah.
now both lenses are missing.
No, not just both. One of the tail lights literally blasted out of like it wasn't just the tail light, like the tail lens this time. The whole light just went
the whole assembly.
boom. Yeah, like launched out. I thought it was something like coming off my truck, but I looked in the rearview mirror in like the rearview mirror, and the tail light's just hanging by the wires, just dangling there.
I want to say I don't understand how so much stuff gets torn up around us, but I kind of do understand.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, there ain't no way that truck should be anywhere it's been taken. And if you quit being so lazy and get your rear bumper built, you'd have 2 good taillights instead of them ones from U Auto Pull It with the marker still on it.
I think that, didn't you take it? That was the maze, wasn't it? Did we take it on the
yes,
maze?
sir. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's where the tail light got launched out of the truck.
Yeah,
and
like-
where we destroyed the rear bumper.
One of the sketchiest, most difficult, most technical trails out there.
Really?
Like, it's difficult in a side-by-side.
Yeah, I think a couple side by sides broke axles on that trail.
Yeah, it's a handful.
Oh dang! Okay,
That was
y'all
the,
doing some wheel hopping.
Where last year or the previous year before what we're talking about is where he laid it over on the side going up that steep incline. You know what I'm talking about?
That's
yeah,
right.
I know what you're talking about.
And where Hubert flipped down, remember?
Yep.
That's the same trail.
And so it's a tough trail for sure.
Yeah.
And there's some really tight, like vertical walls that you got to slide down.
Freaking Luke's over there just burning clutches up.
And a standard.
Hey, I only stalled a couple times. I thought it was.
Bro, I would
wasn't too
not
bad.
want to be driving no standard and none of that.
And it was raining too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
It was awful.
Pouring down rain.
You didn't have a locker at that time, or did
No,
you?
I did. I had a
Oh,
locker
night and
in
day,
there.
huh? And tires.
Yeah, it was insane how much better it performed when the locker was engaged.
And honestly, that thing made out pretty good. From that full trip, there wasn't any real body damage or broken parts, right?
You know, and the bumper did really well too that I built.
Oh, the bumper you built did really well.
Yeah, the rear bumper did not do good.
fare very
Did you
good.
have to? Did you have to use the winch?
Yep, I did.
Heck yeah!
Man,
yeah,
so
that thing goes.
He wasn't the only one that got sketchy though at that ride. The second day, whenever we were going riding and filming, I don't even remember what trail it was. It was when Chad Hughes was with us. He took us on the big group ride. We saw like the Flintstone house and stuff like that.
yeah.
And there was a trail around that the media guys could have taken. And when I say the media guys, I'm saying Josh Catoni specifically could have taken. And I'm pretty sure when we started that trail, do you remember what the name of that trail was? It's not burned in your memory?
No, I just know it was a trap. And I blamed it all on Chad Hughes.
Oh, man, yeah. So he took us down this one-lane trail. And right before the little step-up obstacles, like the kind of gnarly ones, and you know how everything is. When you're looking at it from above, you can't tell how bad it is. It doesn't look that bad when you're standing 20 foot above it on a rock looking down. You're like, oh, just pull right up that. Well, there's a left-hand turn that takes you out of the trail completely. You come around the backside, and you can park and wait on everybody to finish. Josh was in the media defender, and we got to this obstacle, and I was like, hey, without looking at the obstacles that were coming down the road, I was like, dude, you can do this one. Like, we just bumped right up it. You can for sure make it. Worst that happens, you can back up and go down. But it's not one that you wouldn't want to go back down after you climb it. It's too off-camera and squirrely. So he bumped it a few times and made it up, I feel like, pretty easy up that first one, right?
Yeah.
Like, he bumped it like maybe twice and then hopped right up it, went all the way to his two big step-ups, and he was like, dang, okay, I got this. And so
I
we
was
made...
never like Quinton. I was never like, oh, I got this.
You kind of... And so we made it down a little farther down the trail. There was one more little like step up and a super narrow obstacle to where it would get up all the way up on two wheels, and we kind of had to hold it down. So it was two rocks too close together. And so you had to run one side all the way up on the rocks, and it would have flipped if we didn't counterweight it, but he was able to skirt it around and drop it in. Well, we'd all made it to that point and kind of stopped, but there was an exit to the trail, right? And it was a super steep climb, and at the top there was like a 2-foot little kicker. And so I was like, all right, I'll take it first. Mr. Mal was in his Jeep. Luke was in the Toyota. Dustin was in the X3. So we're like, we'll just bump her. Let's see how bad it is in case we need to hook a winch to Josh, because that Defender has a really short wheelbase and not a great center of gravity, right?
Good for power wheelies.
It's good for power wheelies. And so it was a steep climb to a little 2-foot step up. We all like literally went right up at no problems because of wheelbase and center of gravity. Even Luke's Toyota surprisingly made it right up it. No problem. So we got Josh there. And I literally walked through the whole process with him. I was like, this is exactly how you want to hit it, okay? You roll up the hill. When you hit the step up, do not gas it. Do not gas it. Just let your front tires come over it. When your front tires hit the ground, mash on it and let your back tires hump a bump over, right? So don't hit it before that till your front tires get on the ground, and then go ahead and mash on it.
So you're saying don't purse arm bus driver it where it collapses your front arms when you hit it, and then go full stab?
Yeah.
All right.
And then go to the floor. So Josh, we had to convince him. He did not want to do that obstacle.
He literally said, I don't want to do this.
Word
I
for
already
word.
know everybody's impatient, and they're already thinking like what they'd have to do to get it out of there. And they're like, you'll be fine. Everybody else made it. You're good. This is not going to go wrong.
And we convinced him, and we did all do it before him. Even Chad on the dirt bike, like, just popped right up it. So I think Josh was like, okay, I saw everybody do it. This is doable. And I trust my friends. I don't think they would let me get hurt, which was his first big mistake. I trust my friends. If they tell me we can make it, then we can probably make it. And so he rolls into this obstacle, lines it up. We talk through it several times, and he's like, all right, now let me repeat it back to you so I understand. So I'm going to roll into it, hit the little bump. After my front tires touch the ground, then I'm going to go ahead and gas it hard and make the back tires come over, right? It's like, yep, that's freaking perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. Rolled up the obstacle to the top, and it was steep enough that when you get to the top and you want to come back down and you hit your brakes, the tires like
Dragging.
like slide all the way to the bottom. I didn't really notice that it was that steep until we got the Defender on it. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a little worse than I thought. So we got Josh lined up and got him in his mind committed. All right, here we go. And so he pulls up. As soon as his front tires hit that obstacle, the step up to the wood. Freaking put it on the floor. Went Dennis Anderson, pointed this Defender at the sky. That is the closest I've ever seen a side-by-side to get to flipping over. Stalled out in the air. Came back down, hit hard enough that it bounced back up that I was considering it might come back over again, and just parked it right there and got out, walked away. Did you finish the obstacle or did you?
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah, he did.
That was the hardest part, was getting the front tires up. So it was already there.
That's right. After he rode the straight moon wheelie, double bounced it, stood it back up, his tires actually landed on top of the obstacle. And so all he had to do was his back tires, but we had to sit there for a while to talk him into like, dude, you've done it. Like the obstacle's over. Mm-hmm. Now you just need to give it that gas we talked about and get your back tires over.
The craziest thing about watching that, we were all standing here watching this because we were kind of expecting something to go bad. And the craziest thing was when he was stalled in the air, it felt like he was there for so long.
Ever.
Like 30 seconds is what it felt like. Then you look back at the video, it's like, oh, he went up and then back down.
Was you ready
like,
to exit
what?
that thing? Was you already grabbing the steering wheel with this arm this way, ready to go, just bail?
The craziest thing about it is the picture. We're looking at everybody's expression when it's full 12 o'clock. That's the funniest thing.
Dude, you got to zoom in on everybody's faces because everybody had a crazy face going on.
Oh man,
That
I
was-
freaking missed that.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest things about that whole trip. Like DJ said, that was the closest I've ever seen a side by side come to flipping and not actually flip. Like, and also like Luke said, you're sitting there watching it because at this point he's the last side by side to go up. So literally everybody at this point had already made it up, and we're just standing there all out our vehicles, all watching him because you know how terrified Josh gets. So that makes it all that much more entertaining, anyways.
Bro, I wouldn't want to drive that Defender up that thing.
I
You're
would
sitting
not
so
either, dude.
vertical and like church pew.
Dude, it looked like, from what I remember, it looked like it was so vertical. Looked like he was laying on his back.
Yeah. And I think he, in fact, took a nap for just a second when he was vertical. He was,
Might have just passed out, but
might have been blacked out.
I'll be honest, if Josh would have been like, man, DH, he's like, will you do this one? I probably would have been like, no, I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good.
And it never even entered my mind on that because we had gone up it so easy on the other bikes. Like I literally kind of cross-rutted the climb, the obstacle, and like put my one tire up first. So I was like, this is not that bad because I knew we were trying to bring Josh down through there. So I was like, all right, let me see how sketchy it is. I didn't think it was that bad until after we made him do that obstacle. We got to another one and he was a little spooked from it, and he was like, you take it up. I'm not doing it no more. Like, I'm done. You're gonna have to drive it if you want to go up the obstacle. And I tried it. And I was like, nah, F this. I'm not taking this freaking Defender up this thing. I didn't realize. I think you did a couple of times too, didn't you?
I don't remember.
I thought you were helping.
The first day.
Oh, yeah, the first day.
Yeah. Yeah, so you drove it a couple of times too, right?
Yeah.
And I had no idea it was as sketchy as it was.
Yeah, it's definitely real flippy.
Yeah.
Like, it was wanting to flip just going down, like, downhill a little bit. Like, the back tire was kind of wanting to do this, and I'm like, oh, crap.
It's not exactly what you call a rock crawler. The Media Defender is not necessarily built for optimal ride in the rocks.
Bro, he hit the double bounce monster jam on it.
Oh,
You know what it is? I probably what it was is you probably didn't hit the wall. It's like when you lose the line of sight of where you're going, you just thinking about, I don't want to go down backwards, so this is the time to go full throttle. It was just a little early. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, he was out there doing slap wheelies in the middle of the desert.
The funniest, or one of the funny things about it is to go back and look at either the video or like the pictures from like when it happened, because everybody's doing something different. I remember it's like time stopped and I was like froze and is this really happening? And I think he probably would have went over backwards. But when he did like it was either the first or the second big bounce, it was DJ or Logan had like the quick thinking to like grab the front bumper and pull it back down. If it wasn't for that, I think it probably would have went over backwards.
Logan did grab it. He did have
Yes.
good instincts.
Would have
and
went
grab
12
it.
o'clock from
Yes.
the top ropes.
Dude, for sure to the bottom. It would have been a long roll down, but Logan was quick to grab a hold of that.
Did you have your seatbelt on?
Yes, but with all the camera gear, mind you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly, but if I was to break down the photo of when it was full wheel stand, God, you about busted my eardrums,
My bad.
Luke.
I'm sorry.
So if I can't exactly remember who was doing what, but if I could remember the wheel stand, like person by person, I remember when you zoom in on me, like I'm running towards the machine like crap. I just killed my friend. He's dead. There's no way. And I talked him into doing this. And then you zoom in on Logan, and he's got like a oh no face, like trying to grab the front of the machine. And you zoom in on Cody, and he's got this crazy look like, oh, it's going over, like wide eyes. But you zoom in on Dustin, and he's like, Josh is gone. Let's go. I don't think Dustin moved, flinched, had a reaction. He was just like, that's crazy.
I literally was frozen. I could not believe what I was seeing.
Dude, I remember having going through my mind. Josh is dead.
Our friend is gone.
Josh is dead.
R.I.P.
You know, it was finna cram your head into the roof on the downside.
Hey, but afterwards, before that rock obstacle, his tang level was right here.
But now
Afterwards,
it's about right here.
way up here now. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, only person I know to wheelie a defender up a obstacle.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think anybody did anything as cool as you that whole trip. That was for sure the coolest thing.
Yep.
Do you feel like it was the coolest thing, or you don't look back on it the same?
It ended up being cool, man. The stories and everything. Yeah.
Now that it's done, do you regret trying the obstacle?
Yeah, so I kind of regret it.
He probably got
Bro, dude, they're not telling you. I stayed back to film with the helo, so I followed them up the trail with the helo, filming them. And there was 6-8 cars lined up, stalled out on that obstacle when they got up there. So like it was a bunch of people, like bottleneck. You know, so I seen it all before we went even up there. Chad comes back to get me. He's like, all right, man, I'm gonna take you around the other side, man, on this little spot. You know, like we can get around it. I'm like, all right, man, like, cause it's pretty bad up there. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go around it. I followed him straight into it. Felt like 300, man. Just followed me right into this thing, and there's Dustin and this Dustin sitting on the rock about 10 feet above me, just smiling. And Chad turns around, looks at me, he's like, sorry, Josh. Dustin, how you do it?
I already know Josh before and after. He's like, that was reckless, and I am not reckless.
Look, all I took from that trip, one thing I did take from that trip, do not trust Chad.
Chad will deceive you.
Yes, he was trying to make me go up that toilet bowl in the Tacoma. Oh, not a chance. I was scared of walking up that.
I'm always surprised when we go ride with somebody that has a lot of experience. And I guess we're kind of getting like that because we did it to Josh. But when you ride with somebody with a lot of experience, they're like, oh, yeah, just go right up there. And then you look at it and you're like, go right up there. Why would you ever tell me?
Yeah, do not ever tell me to do something like that.
Ever tell me to just go right up this obstacle.
But with that being said, Chad is the guy that's doing bunny hops on his dirt bike up all these obstacles. Just freaking killing it.
Yeah.
Also true.
Yeah. Made everything look really easy.
Will you make that your profile picture, Josh?
Bro, I would for sure do that.
We got to get a canvas made for him. Big canvas. That shot is sweet.
We're gonna need one canvas for you and the defender riding the wheelie, and we're gonna need a whole nother canvas for them big old balls. You know what I'm saying? That big old ball sack you got takes to do that.
A whole nother canvas.
And then a zoom in of his face while it was happening.
Oh man, because he had one of those oh no faces. Moral of the story is it gets expensive hanging out with us. Sometimes not even by choice. Sometimes, I mean, those drones, it wasn't our choice that they crashed on top of the water tower, right?
It's just a lifestyle, period. On, off camera, don't matter what's going on. However you imagine something can be used in the worst way possible, that's how we're going to use it, and that's the first idea that comes to mind, with no regards of how expensive it can get. That doesn't even enter our minds. Like, the defenders, all the toys, like, I don't care. I bought them to use. So whatever I think's the funnest thing to do with them, that's what I'm going to do. And whatever the consequences are, we'll deal with that when we get there.
You just got to deal with that. And you and I have known each other for a long time. I, to be honest, and even since we've all been running together, I think we've got way more near misses that really worked out good in the end than we have of mess ups, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like Josh's defender. Like straight. All we got now is a sky wheelie, but I'm telling you, it was, I mean, fractions of a degree from being total yard sale and tearing up a red, tearing up all the big cameras, tearing up the Defender. And it turned out to be nothing. At the end, it was like, that was sweet picture.
Good memories, good photos and video. And if 12 o'clock was Josh going over, he was about 11:50. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was at 11:50.
11:55.
I'm going to be honest. If we had to go back, I think I seen him drop an arm out the door. You know what I mean?
12 o'clock voice.
Just do a 12 o'clock arm swinging
Scraping knuckles.
Man, just scrub some knuckles on the ground. But we did make out. There's been a lot of times we've had real close calls and made it out better than what probably we should have, right?
Yeah, and even when it does go bad, it's never real bad. It's always fixable.
Yeah, we've been fortunate in that regard, especially for how many chances we take. I feel like on the scale of craziness or things that could potentially go wrong, we take more chances than anybody I know, right?
I would have to agree.
I would have to agree.
We got a bunch of sketchy hobbies.
Yeah.
The fact that the Tacoma still has minimal body damage is pretty crazy.
I don't make sense.
Surprising.
I think that thing like grows when it's on the trails because you look at rocks and you're like, that's going to hit the side of the truck, and somehow it doesn't, or catch the bumper. Well, most of the time.
Yeah, it's surprising. So now it just boils down to it's time to get that 3/4 ton Dodge out on the trails when it gets built.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Actually, the other one goes in the body shop tomorrow after it gets washed and detailed.
I've seen one of them 3/4 ton on the trails before.
Yeah, I was in it. It was
On the mud riding.
not a good time.
The mud riding trail.
Oh, bro, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's built.
I don't care that it's a brand new limited truck.
You know when you hit a pothole so big that you bounce in the back seat?
Yep, like the
That
back of the school bus?
Your head doesn't hit the ceiling, your neck hits the ceiling.
I know what you do care about. You care if somebody tries to get in the back of your truck with dog crap on their shoes.
Oh yeah, bro. People treat that truck the way I treat it, but it's not okay because it's not
Because it
theirs.
ain't theirs. All I'm saying is don't mess around and get drugged by the taco or
That ain't never happened.
the media defender when you get the thing out on the
That ain't
trail.
never gonna happen. 40's locker and power and a lot of weight over the front axle, boy. But the nose gets over, she's going up.
What is your prediction, Luke? It's going to make it through the first crawl? Quinton's Dodge?
It might make it to the first one, but it's not going to make it off the trails without getting damaged.
Got it. So it might make it through the first ride, but not without carnage.
Correct.
Got it.
Bro, if my truck's gonna have, you could back your truck under the center of my truck when I'm done with it.
Yeah, but it's not you driving it, my truck. If you were driving my truck, it would be destroyed.
No, it'd be on the front of magazines and in videos and stuff.
That's what we'll do. We'll throw the snatch rope in the back of the taco. That way you can tugboat Quinton out of the trail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can just burn that clutch up trying to drag that 3/4 ton.
Absolutely.
Or get that 10-to-1 crawl case you want to be pulling mine. If mine's hung up, we in a trail that they wouldn't even let you in. They won't even give you a pass to come down.
Oh, damn.
You'll have the under 21 bracelet on.
We'll see.
Oh, man. So that's just scratching the surface of some of the crazy hobbies that we got. We got to come back for another podcast just to cover some of the other stuff that we've bought and crashed and tore up and tried to replace in the next couple of months.
I think that list is getting shorter, though. The third Corvette. We'll see by next podcast. But
Yeah.
right now, it's sold up. It's made it through 1 weekend of street racing.
It's made it.
And, I'm tinkering with it. I'm getting it dialed in, so we'll see.
I don't know that, D, you might have defended the belt this weekend. Coming off that big Parker race, I don't know that anybody's done anything cooler than that. If I really had to nominate anybody to take the belt, it's going to be Josh. It's going to be my man behind the scenes.
I can't do it though. I wasn't in it. You know what I'm saying? No one heard my side.
Next
You want to take my
podcast
seat
then,
for a
right?
couple minutes just so you can take the belt?
We good.
Luke, shut your dumb COVID head up.
D's holding on to it this time. The circumstances weren't right, okay? Josh, it just wasn't your night. It's not that you didn't train hard enough. It's not that you weren't prepared to take the belt. It's just tonight wasn't your night.
We were time limited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's another good podcast, boys.
That was a good one.
I think so. That was
I
fun.
laughed
It was
a lot.
fun.
Sometimes I just enjoy reminiscing about all the crazy stuff that we do.
I forget about it sometimes till we talk about it.
We're going to have to do one tomorrow night.
I'll come back over here tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
do
gonna have
another.
to.
Actually, you know what? I got to prep a car tomorrow, so we may wait a day or two. Let me get some car prep done.
All right, so food.
Yeah.
I'm freaking hungry.
Yeah, so that's another episode, Checkers or Wreckers. If you want to go check more of them out, they're on YouTube for S3 Power Sports. They're on Spotify. They're on our Instagram. They're on Apple Play. What else? Anything that you go listen to podcasts on, I think. We're just taking over the podcast world. So go check them out and tune in next time if you want to hear the rest of the stories of the rest of the things that we've torn up.
If y'all got toys, send us a message and come hang out for the weekend.
Let's
tear them up.
We'll tear them up too.
Yep, scared money don't make money.